Let's move on to A's Diamondbacks. So the roof is closed for this matchup. Montas versus Weaver. Montas dealing with the back issues that kept him off of his start last week. The A's opened up at minus 165 at Bet365, now minus 155, a 10-cent move towards the Diamondbacks. And Luke Weaver, this total opened up at 9, minus 115, over 9, minus 115. It is still there. Weaver's looked very bad this year after looking very good last year. 11.85 ERA, 2.12 whip. Montas looks awesome this year until the back issues slowed him down. 1.57 ERA, 1 whip, 22 Ks in 23 innings, 9 walks. But that first start of the year, there was, 4 walks or so in the first few innings. A's first righties, 226, 759 OPS. D-backs first righties, 255, 725 OPS. A's bullpen very good, 2.34 ERA, 1.10 whip. The D-backs bullpen bad, 5 ERA, 1.46 whip. But the Diamondbacks are over 500 for the first time all year. They've also been very good in interleague play, 18-8. Starlin Marte, 7-game hitting streak. He's rolling, but Luke Weaver is an issue. And now we have Montas back after dealing with upper back tightness. And A's Diamondbacks.
Yeah, so I'm looking at these numbers here. Luke Weaver, this is going to sound crazy and probably super obvious, but he has a lot of positive regression in his metrics, which is pretty easy to say when a guy has an 11.98 ERA to start the year. But I like Luke Weaver. He had a really good season last year. I liked him as a young kid with the Cardinals. I watched him a lot when he played for the Cardinals a few years ago because I'm a Cubs fan, so I watch a lot of those games. One thing I'm looking at this season is his BABIP is at 395, which over a short sample size, that can happen to a guy. And the number that I look for the most for either looking for positive or negative regression with a pitcher at this point in the season. So once they've had like 4, 5, 6 starts, I'm looking at these BABIP numbers because those are the numbers that come back the fastest. And a 395 BABIP is ripe for positive regression. That should come down because I mentioned it before. A league average BABIP is between 290 and 310. So his batting average of balls in play, he's been getting killed with bad luck with balls put in play. And we all know from the past, I mean, he's never been a bum. He's never sucked. He's always looked pretty good. And he had a very good season last year. So to just say on a short sample size this season where he's had some bad ball luck, he has been bit by the walk bug, that all of a sudden he's going to be a trash can, I think we're way jumping the gun here. I like Luke Weaver. I think he is going to turn it around. And I'm looking at Montas here. Montas' numbers are great. A 157 ERA on the year. But you look at his xFIP and his SIERA. His xFIP is 439. His SIERA on the season is 446. His SIERA is skill interactive earned run average. It's probably the best advanced ERA metric that we have for pitchers. Probably mainly because it also takes in a lot more batted ball data than FIP and xFIP numbers. And I'm also looking at, too, I just mentioned the BABIP numbers for Luke Weaver. Montas' BABIP is at 237. That's going to come up. He's not going to maintain a 237 BABIP for the entire season. So that number's going to come up on him also. And you also mentioned back problems. You start having back problems, that could be lingering. It's like, all right, well, my back feels better now, but a week later you can have spasms again. I mean, we all know how back problems just linger forever. So you also want to looking at these offenses. Arizona, both offenses have been great. I looked at their numbers for the season, and then I looked at their numbers for the last 2 weeks. For the season, Arizona's offensive numbers look terrible. But over the last 2 weeks, they have one of the top 3 offenses in the league. So do the Athletics. The Athletics have a very good offense right now also. But the Arizona Diamondbacks are batting 297 with a 358 WOBA and a 128 WRC plus over the last 2 weeks. And they're on a 5-game win streak. And I'm getting a plus 140 number to fade a guy who has a lot of negative regression in his metrics in Montas. So I am backing a hot offense. I think Luke Weaver's going to turn it around. I don't trust Montas long-term right now. I think I like Montas as a pitcher, but he's not going to maintain a 157 ERA. He's going to have a bad start at some point, and I'm hoping it's going to be today because I'm on the Diamondbacks at plus 140.
Huh.
Weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I like it though. I like it. I like it. You have Frankie Montas out of his rhythm. You have a team that's winning baseball games right now, and a pitcher who has been terrible this year, but he's a young guy who we know is capable of elite type stuff. Damon says Montas is elite, bro. I don't know. Yeah, he is, but I get this bet. I get taking the plus money. I understand it. Ulysses Hayes in the house. Great Capper says Oakland will bounce back today. Beach Boss says A's got this one. Raj Desai says Ant trying to find value, not here, bud. I don't know. I completely get it. And if I get it. I don't know if I can. What do you expect from this Diamondbacks bullpen that's been so poor so far this year? Does that also concern you, or do you expect a positive regression from them?
There's some positive stuff in their bullpen numbers. They just gotta cut down on their walks. I mean, their bullpen's average. I mean, their bullpen guys are about average. The Athletics have a much better bullpen. I mean, the Diamondbacks are an underdog in this game because the Athletics should be a favorite, but plus 140 is a good number here. I have the game lined about minus 115, minus 120 for the Athletics. So.
I feel you. Look, we got our guy Jay Money is money in the house. Jay, too long, man. Great to see you in the chat. I know we haven't been able to check out each other's shows because we've been going up against each other, but man, great to see you rolling with us today. Jay Money is money in the house. Man, makes me want to just skip the NBA when we got money in there.
Also, one thing every baseball capper loves to talk about is don't fade the streaks. So. I mean, are we going to fade a 5-game win streak at minus 150?
No, I agree. Look, I agree on your Diamondbacks breakdown. I completely agree with Montas coming off of the back issue, and then you have the whole betting public looking at this 11.85 ERA, not looking at 13 2/3. That's all he's throwing is 13 2/3, and he has 17 Ks in those 13 2/3. So now he's allowed 7 home runs in the 13 2/3.
Yeah, I mean, that'll come down. That'll come down. So I mean, I just looked at it like that. You got to understand when you're capping these games, there needs to be a number on each side that you're willing to bet. Like you're betting the number that the bookies are giving you. You're not betting the team. Because if you're betting the team, you're just going to bet the Yankees and the Dodgers and every single game, day in and day out, or the Twins. You're looking. There has to be a number where you're willing to bet either side.
I like it. Let's keep rolling along here. We got a lot of games to get through.